May 1991, Tokyo train station. SONY engineer Ken Kutaragi hurries through the ticket gate. The bullet train to Kyoto is already at the platform and he doesn't want to be late. In a few hours' time, he'll be meeting with Nintendo to finalize the imminent announcement of a new video game console called the PlayStation. The PlayStation is a console with a difference. Console games usually come on plug-in cartridges, but PlayStation games will be on compact discs. With their huge storage capacity, CD-ROMs promise a future where games will look, sound, and play a whole lot better. A future where video games become an entertainment medium to rival television, music, and film. It's a future Sony and Nintendo intend to own together with the PlayStation. Since 1989, Sony and Nintendo have been working on the PlayStation in secret. But now, the time has come to reveal the PlayStation to the world. In 2 days' time, the PlayStation is due to be announced at the Consumer Electronics Show in Chicago. All that is left is one last meeting to go over the details of the big moment. But before Kutaragi can climb onto the bullet train, he spots Sony's public relations director bounding towards him on the platform. He looks anxious. He brandishes a single-page internal memo in his hand.
Kutaragi, look at this. It says Nintendo has torn up its deal with Sony. Apparently they're working with Philips on a CD games console instead. What? How can that be?
Kutaragi reads the memo in stunned silence as he boards the bullet train. The PlayStation is his baby. Kutaragi is only a mid-level manager with Sony. He's staked his whole career on its success. As the bullet train hurtles out of Tokyo, Kutaragi desperately makes phone call after phone call trying to find out if this rumor is true, but no one knows. 3 hours later, Kutaragi arrives at Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto. He is shown a bare wood-grain walled meeting room. The Nintendo team is already there waiting for him. The atmosphere in the room is tense. He's normally greeted warmly, but today he walks into frosty silence. Kutaragi immediately wants answers.
So, are the rumors true? Are you working with Philips now?
All eyes in the room fall on Nintendo of America's president, Minoru Arakawa. Arakawa doesn't like the spotlight, so he looks away for just a moment, and then looks back at Kutaragi before answering. Yes, it's true.
But what about our deal? We will honor it. How? How can you honor our deal if you are working with Philips? Nintendo will honor its deal with Sony. That is all we have to say.
Kutaragi leaves Nintendo bewildered. How could years of collaboration and goodwill just evaporate? Just what is going on? From Wondery, this is Business Wars. I'm David Brown. Today, video games are a $116 billion business. Adults and children alike play them. The graphics in video games can look as lifelike as a movie. Storylines can be as complex as novels. But at the dawn of the 1990s, that future was very far away. Back then, the industry was much smaller, the kid brother to the grown-up entertainment industries of film, music, and television. And the video games themselves? Well, back then they were flat and two-dimensional. They had tinny computer-generated music and were rarely played beyond childhood. The 90s would change all that. By the end of the decade, video games had become three-dimensional with proper soundtracks, and a majority of players were adults. And at the heart of that transformation was a fight between two companies: Nintendo, the toy company that grew into the ruler of the video game empire, and SONY, a consumer electronics company that saw a central place for itself in the gaming world. The war between these Japanese giants continues even today, but it was their first battle that mattered most. That battle was for the very soul of video games, a battle that would spawn the video game industry as we know it today. Our new 6-part series follows the industry-defining clash between Nintendo and SONY, the behind-the-scenes maneuvers, and the two competing visionaries who masterminded this battle. You're listening to episode